And now, the time fight fans all across the globe have been waiting for. It's the main card with your man, The Void.
What's going on, good people? What's going on, good people? It's your man, Wilders here. We are back. Welcome back to the main card. We got a little different setup for you today. Shout out to The Voice with his intro. The Voice is going to be playing the Wizard of the main card this show.
I am here. You couldn't hear me before, but I am here.
We got an amazing guest today. My man Joe is here, man. We're going to be talking about WrestleMania 41, doing a quick preview for y'all, breaking down some of the bouts that we're looking forward to the most. We're going to give you some bouts that we kind of want to see that's not on everybody's radar, and just giving you some final thoughts. So this is a special edition of the main card. Yes, The Voice is still here. You know what I'm saying? We have not broken up. I have not gone solo. Okay. Yes, I know I'm the Michael Jackson of the group, but I'm nothing without my Tito. Voice, go ahead and lead us into the first segment, boss.
I don't want to. This man called me Tito. Tito. Okay. I don't even know what to say after that. Outside of let's get it. And let's get into it. Let us set the proper order because we are all out of order. So kicking things off, we've got the triple threat match between Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns. We're going into WrestleMania. We're in WrestleMania season. 2 days of WrestleMania, hours upon hours of matches. And you're getting the best of the best from us. With this matchup specifically, my question is, could Heyman, because he's not pictured here, but Paul Heyman is also a part of this. We know that he represents the bloodline. We know that he has a relationship with CM Punk. Could he lose his influence on the bloodline with a misstep in this match? Will, take it away.
Man, that's an amazing question. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think we're due for a swerve in this night one main event. I want to get Joe's thoughts, but here's my thing. There's been too many things set in motion for us to just expect for this just to be a brawl and there be nothing to it. Seth Rollins, for some reason, seems like he has something up his sleeve, and dare I say it, I think it involves The Rock and Cena. That's just me, but we've seen Rock do and he do this every time. I think that one might be Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has done everything that he's done to try to put some kind of dissension between Roman and Paul Heyman. CM Punk was already doing that. I do think that this is a huge match, and I think that this is going to put us back into the bloodline story because I think we're far from done with it. But look for Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins here is the wild card. And hopefully this leads us to a major rivalry with Rollins and Reigns that goes into WrestleMania of next year, because I've been calling it. We need Rollins and Reigns in the championship bout at WrestleMania. WWE, don't fumble this like y'all did with Rock and Triple H. But I think Seth Rollins plays a bigger part than Paul Heyman. Although I do think Paul Heyman is probably going to do something that's going to leave us gasping by the end of the night. Joe, what you think, man?
I kind of agree, but I feel like it's one of those situations where we're starting to see the fall of the factions. The first domino fell when the bloodline just kind of cracked in half after Roman's loss. Starting to see more of the bloodlines, the former bloodline, look off to do their own thing, become their own champions in their own right. So we're starting to see that. But you never know. Paul Heyman, man, he's one of those devils in disguise. So he could either play into this, he's my best friend, this is my guy, and then turn around and stab him in the back just because his loyalty lies with someone who's been champion for so long. And I don't think Paul Heyman, I'm not necessarily sure Paul Heyman is willing to gamble on risking his entire future on rebuilding a new superstar so late into his career. With Rollins, man, yeah, I think Rollins is the X factor. I do believe that Rollins does have a trick up his sleeve to where he can kind of get Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, which would make a better storyline if they did break apart and have Rollins and Reigns for the next WrestleMania. That would be real good. Punk is a good addition. Don't get me wrong, but I mean the guy's time it came and went. Like his popularity is still there for nostalgia reasons, but outside of that, like the guy has not had anything of significance right now to show that like, he's a champion. Oh yeah, I mean like all of his fights now leading up to this is former beefs with with older wrestlers who already had it out with him before. So he's just kind of like coming back, rehashing old beefs. It's kind of like having John Cena come back and face The Rock because of old rivalries and just to put that nail in the coffin and say who's the best. You know, that's a
different perspective because for me, I see CM Punk almost like this generation. I ain't gonna say our generations because that was my generation, but I see CM Punk as this generation's Bret Hart. Like he can't put on a bad match. He can come on and do some great things. I think that this match is supposed to catapult CM Punk into the WWE Championship match spectrum next. Because I think he ends up beefing, whether it be with Cody or Cena. I think it's probably gonna be Cena. But I think this is big for everyone involved because it's going to continue all the rivalries that are going on, and eventually we're going to get back around to Punk, Rollins, and Reigns again. But I do think that Paul Heyman is going to play a big part, even as a writer. Man, he does amazing on it.
Yeah, I think Triple H is cooking with this one. I just hope he doesn't fumble with Rollins, Reigns, WrestleMania. I really do, because we almost had it with Reigns versus The Rock, but it was too late. Everybody wanted to hear Cody's story, which to me, not the greatest, not popular opinion, but he's not the greatest champion in my eyes. But yeah, man, they kind of overshot their time on making something that massive of a fight happen. And now that time is past, so we got to look to the future. And Rollins' Reigns is the future.
All right, we're going to pull back the curtain a little bit, and we're going to step into another segment, being another main event. None other than the story you segued into it so well. Talking about Cody, we have Cena and Cody and Cena, the American Nightmare versus, I don't know what John Cena is now because he switched everything up.
I think you can see him now.
I guess so. Maybe you can.
People can see him now.
My question about this, and Joe, we'll start with you.
Yeah.
Is there a world where John Cena loses?
Yes, because Cody is now the company man. He is the quarterback of the industry right now. If we're playing into the good versus evil, 11th hour good wins, yeah, Cody wins this. But if you really want to grab the attention of the audience, I think Cena wins, retires the championship, and forces the WWE world to create a new belt.
Okay, so you said that, if he wins, he retires. My question for you, though, Will, is if he loses, how does this loss define his career?
It won't. It'll just be another Cena loss. But I don't see, for the purpose of them making this even bigger, I don't see him losing. I personally feel like this furthers this story. I feel like this is a night 2 because this is going to be the night 2 main event. So this ends WrestleMania completely. Yeah. I think we're going to see a faction form. It's going to be led by The Rock with John Cena as the champion. And I think this is going to lead to a bunch of really, really great stories. The thing about this that makes a lot of sense is is the whole goal is to kind of build Cody up to be what Cena was, while at the same time giving Cena that one final run. Which, if you read up on it, if you're familiar with it, Cena's final match is actually in Boston, in his hometown, which I think is going to be next year. So I think eventually we're going to be working up with this faction, which is going to be a weird, crazy faction coming out. But I think Cena takes this. I think we see an ultimate swerve, and the night after WrestleMania is just going to lead to even more, and then we go into SummerSlam. So right. I think Cena takes it.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I agree. I think Cena takes this, but Triple H is that guy, so I don't see him just playing into Cody wins. He finishes another story in the chapter of another book. So it's just like, to get the fans going. I think Cena wins, a faction is born, and it makes for a better storyline. The Phoenix has to rise from the ashes, and if Cody is that Phoenix, he has to take a loss somewhere in his career in order to show that he's not just a one-time champion. He's a 2-time, 3-time, 4-time champion. So this
question though about that in the immediacy of a loss. How big of a drop in public opinion would Cody have?
He wouldn't.
Nah, nothing.
He's pro wrestling fans love an underdog. On top of that, they love an underdog that's going against the status quo. The Rock is a board member of TKO. You have John Cena, who's been the epitome of WWE for 25 years. He's basically the mascot, and you're building off top of that. When you put on top of the fact that we're going into WrestleMania season, and there being WrestleMania and there being a swerve there, I think all this does is build Cody up. But I think the thing that people are not registering is CM Punk is coming. CM Punk is coming up next, and he's going to be put into that championship title picture also. You also can't forget about Rollins. You can't forget about Roman Reigns. So there's a lot of pieces there. It's just how they put it all together. And I think Heyman and Triple H are going to do something amazing with that probably we're not even going to see coming.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on into our next segment, which is yet another title match. We got Jey Uso taking on Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. Jey, that's right. Go ahead, Yeet. Yeah. Jay's on a different level. Like, he's on a whole nother level. He's starting to get crossover appeal. The things that he's done with Travis Scott have really helped to raise his profile.
Mm-hmm.
He only had a cup of coffee with the Intercontinental belt, though. And he had it for like maybe a month or so. It was a really short reign, which is not all that uncommon in wrestling, especially with mid-card titles. However, this title is a little bit different. Gunther has held the title for the last 9 months. Over under 12 months for Jey with a win. I'm sorry, not Jay, but I'm saying all these Jays. Joe, over under 12 months for Jey being the champion if he were to beat Gunther.
If he was to beat Gunther, so many people are going to look at him as the guy who beat Gunther, which is not that many people. That's a very short list. Is what, like Sami Zayn, Damian Priest.
Yeah. If you go back to NXT, you got Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah. But that's a very as the main hard guy, he's been champion majority of his career, with whether it be Intercontinental or whatever. He's been champion majority of the time he's been in WWE. So if Jey beats him, he's going to be considered the guy, and so that's a huge target.
Okay, will he hold the title?
I gotta believe in my guy, man. I would say over 12 months.
Over 12 months.
Just let him cook. Let him cook. Give him a chance.
Will, same question.
It's gonna be under 12 months, and it's not because Jay's not good. It's the parody of the WWE, and it's the fact of all the matches that we're gonna get with Jay. I think Jay stays in the main event title card. Like, it won't be his only reign, but I can see maybe 4 or 5 months tops, because somehow, some way, as a babyface, he's gonna get screwed out of the title. Something's gonna happen. Something that's gonna make sense. That's gonna bother the internet wrestling universe, and that's what WWE unfortunately is known for. Would I like to see him have a long title run? Of course. Like, you know what I'm saying? For the sake of what happened to my man Kofi during Kofi Mania, yes, the streets deserve a long title run for Jey Uso. The thing about it is that the wrestling community has shown us that we build up people to basically tear them down. You've seen how Jay went from the right-hand man to main event Jey Uso. We've seen him nearly dethrone Roman Reigns. And then once he got big, you saw people all of a sudden start to tear him down, as if he hasn't built up a career for 15 years and put on, as Sheamus like to say, banger after banger after banger. Could there be a swerve where Jay doesn't win and goes into like Backlash to win? Yes, but I hope not, because I think we all deserve that WrestleMania moment. But I'm looking forward to seeing, and this is me personally, I'm looking forward to seeing Jay and Sami Zayn bang it out. Pause. I'm looking forward to seeing that happen, with Sami Zayn coming in and being like, you got what I deserve. I'm looking forward to seeing him and Braun Breaker go at it. I'm looking forward to seeing Jay go at it with a bunch of different people as champion if we continue to give him a chance. He's grown his moveset. He's grown as a performer. And like it or not, Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship reign has not been anything to phone home. His Intercontinental reign was much better. This has not been it for me. I would be fine if he went to the other side, to the WWE Championship, because of course we have the draft coming up, so we never know. But it's Jey Uso's time. It's overdue. It's time. And that month-long IC title run was trash.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, because we've talked about what happens next for Jay, it's been Jay heavy, and yeet, we understand. However, what if Gunther wins? What's next for him?
I think if Gunther wins, I don't think we're done with him and Jey Uso. If Gunther wins, we're not done with him, Jey Uso. If Jey Uso wins, it's a matter of where we go with it next. I would love to see. I'm a attitude era guy, so I love when there's multiple people fighting for one title at one time. Give me the 3 and 4-way matches that like sets off rivalries for years on end. Like that's what excites me. Instead of seeing 1 or 2 guys just go at it, they're doing promos every other week. Add those extra layers to people. But if Gunther somehow wins, I don't see this being over between him and Jey Uso. But if Jey Uso wins, there's a chance somebody else steps up. Gunther ends up having to re-earn something, and then we'll see what happens.
What are your thoughts?
I agree. I would say the same. If Gunther wins, Jay is just going to come at him from every different angle. We've seen how he treated him when he absolutely obliterated Jimmy and kind of put him on the shelf. So for the sake of storylines and family and all that stuff, he's going to have to hit another level of like character development to make his chance at another title run more prevalent. But I definitely see if Gunther wins, I could see more champions coming, former champions coming for his head, like Damian Priest. Damian Priest really doesn't like Gunther. I could see CM Punk trying to make a title run at him. I could see Drew McIntyre saying, hey, I already had you once. I can do it again. So I would love, like he said before, I would love to see 5-6 people coming at him and really challenging him for the title to make those real matches. Because the thing that made Roman's title run so insane is like he was beating like Brock Lesnar and like multiple badasses. So it's like we need to see that level of like intensity when it comes down to Gunther winning his championship and then facing other people ahead of him.
Jey Uso versus Gunther is Rocky versus Drago. They set it up perfectly.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy had to take that Apollo Creed beating. That's what Jimmy had to do.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
why you saw the blood on Gunther. But it's built up to be Rocky. Jey Uso is a Rocky type character that people can relate to, and they can relate to his story. And once we get Crash Out Jay, I think we there. So yeah, it's Jay's time. Give me like at least 3-4 months with Jay, with the title on Jay. I can see Drew McIntyre coming, of course. So, but yeah, I think either way, it's gonna be great storytelling.
All right. Well, this is a great spot, speaking of stories, to tell a story about our sponsor. So on the other side, we're going to enter into the second half of our show, starting off again with another triple threat match. This time, it's Ladies' Night on the main card. Keep it locked.
It's not just about the love of the game. It's about dedication and commitment through the process and the patience to endure. There's joy in reaching your goals and peace in knowing you've done all you're supposed to do. Ozell brand. It's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle.
And we are back. As promised, it's Ladies' Night. Bianca Belair, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title. Another triple threat match. There was an article on Sportscaster that says Io Sky as Women's World Champion is the only sensible move at WrestleMania 41. True or false? Joe, what do you say?
I'm gonna have to go false, man. Like, they're building it up to say, hey, these two women, Rhea and Bianca, is too focused on each other. Io comes in as they completely obliterate each other, and then she just somehow wins. It's too obvious. I feel like all three women have something to gain in this, and Io being the most sensible one. Nah, I can't see it. I think Bianca's the more sensible one to win this because, one, she's had titles before. This is another chance to get another notch on her title belt for her to be like, hey, I am the woman that claims to be the EXT. This is my shot. And it kind of was set up for a Jade Cargill and Bianca Women's World Championship match in the future. So if there's going to be a sensible match, a sensible champion, I would say it's Bianca.
Okay, Will, you were shaking your head, so we know your answer is that it's also false. But why do you feel that it's false?
The Bianca Io versus Rhea match, in my opinion, is literally to set up the big three main event that we're supposed to get, whether that's at I would say Evolution or SummerSlam, between Bianca, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. I don't want to speak too much about it because we do still have to cover that. But in this time period, yes, Io's been a great champion. Rhea's time right now as champion is up. I think Rhea's going through a phase right now, and I think Io and Rhea will probably be in the Money in the Bank ladder match for the women that's going to come up. But the perfect answer for this is Bianca Belair because of what it sets up for the future. And it's been a while since Bianca has been champion. I think a little over a year and a half of time since Jade Cargill was actually introduced. So the right answer here is actually Bianca and not Io. Io is better when she's chasing the title. Bianca is better when she's holding the title.
All right. Enough said. We will keep the party going with that answer. Great work, gentlemen. As we move into what has to be probably the most anticipated bout.
I love you, Solo.
Yes, that is correct. The most anticipated bout of any night. You've got, no pun intended, LA Knight, who may be going into the sunset because he's facing the werewolf Jacob Fatu. And that was straight off the dome. I thank the Lord for allowing me to flow. I can't take credit for that. That all glory to God on that one. But anyway, Solo, I don't know. It feels like Solo Sikoa is falling off. If Jacob secures the title, how long until he's Tribal Chief 2.0?
As the great Marvin Sapp once said, lock the doors. It's time.
He said, "Shut the door."
Jacob
So lock the
Fatu.
door.
Jacob-
Don't talk about my brother
Jacob-
no more like that.
Jacob Fatu is United States champion in waiting. I don't know what they did with LA Knight, because just months ago we were talking about LA Knight possibly being the future world champion, and it feels like he's cooled off. He's cooled off a bit, especially from the Shinsuke Nakamura rivalry that went through. But Jacob is ready, and this right here is another setup as we go into SummerSlam. Jacob Fatu, United States champion, probably getting that babyface run because Solo Sikoa is going to be right behind it, and that match is going to feed families with how nasty it's going to get. It's Jacob's time. It's long overdue. I think this is another blip in the bloodline. I think this does set up, hopefully, for us to see Haikaloa finally come in. I think Tonga Loa is actually going to be coming back soon. So this is a great setup for all that, with Jacob defending that U.S. championship, possibly not only against Solo, but probably Jimmy, because Jimmy wants it too. So I think it sets up a lot of greatness to it. I can't see any other way for this match to end than for Jacob to obliterate LA Knight. And we also, by SummerSlam, maybe getting Jacob Fatu versus the Tsunami, Bronson Reed, who will be coming back also. Let's make it happen.
Now,
Lock the
again,
doors.
this has been, don't lock the doors. Shut the doors, Usher. And we're going to shut the doors on your
Yeah,
mouth.
Lock
shut the
'em.
doors, boot
Man.
up the windows.
Lock them.
You keep saying
Because
the
the
wrong
ties
thing.
and offers that's going to feed the families.
Okay, like I said, we're gonna shut the doors on your audio so that I can get the words out of my mouth. Anyway, Joe, I was coming to you. Anyways, it was a perfect time to shut the doors. LA Knight has doubled his time as far as holding
it's
the.
Jacob's time, man.
Well,
Solo
hold on.
right now is surviving.
Can you hear me, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, so LA Knight has doubled his title time the second time around with the US strap. Is there anything more for him to do with this title, or is it time for him to go for the Intercontinental strap?
Oh man, it's time for him to go, man. I don't know what else he can do. Like, honestly, he's coming off real gimmicky. I love the gimmick. Don't get me wrong. Having every LA Knight, and all that. That's cool. It gives very Macho Man Savage-esque energy, but it's not quite there. Not all the way there, but it's something of it. But I mean, like the dude lost the championship title run and said, you know what? The next best thing in my career is U.S. champion. That'll do it. Like, no, you want to become the world champion. And if that's not the goal, then like, what are we doing here? Like, I feel like his future is going to end up becoming the Miz. Like, yeah, some people love you, some people hate you, but you're like right in that sweet spot where I don't get fired because I'm not popular enough, but I'm not popular enough to make any title runs or have any like real competition for any championships in the future. But it's definitely Jacob's time. Solo is definitely in survival mode because that dude is a monster. and is willing to take out legends and other monsters, as we all been seeing lately. So, yeah, Jacob is different, man. Jacob's different. His moves are different. The flexibility, the athleticism for a big man of his size to be moving the way he does, he's definitely going to end up changing WWE's like villain art for a long time. So, and he has the attitude. So.
Well, Will knows about my feelings with professional wrestling, but he will also tell you that I love you, Jacob Fatu. I love about everything about that guy.
Yeah,
So
we had to put a Jacob Fatu segment in there for like 3 weeks straight.
Yo, the dude's good, man. He's different. He has the attitude. Like now that he's starting to talk, you just realize, oh my God, this man could really shake up some promos if they give him the right.
I implore people, if you want to see Jacob Fatu as a world champion and how he cuts promos, go back, watch MLW on YouTube, watch his promos and watch his matches. He does amazing work. Like this is only the iceberg that we're getting on when you're seeing like people who've seen him for years know how good he is on the mic. He's a star, man. He's gonna be main event in WrestleMania by next year.
He's got to. And don't get it twisted. That man is definitely going to make his run for Tribal Chief pretty soon. So it's only a matter of time.
Keeping with the bloodline, we have the first lady of the bloodline, Naomi, taking on.
Can't call it that.
How so? What other woman has been in the bloodline?
Yeah, but you can't. She's not technically a part of the bloodline.
Oh, whatever. She's the first lady of the bloodline. I'm calling it here. Put a pin in it, write it down, tweet it, and when they start calling her that, make sure that you send me my money. My cash app is ain't too proud to beg 314. Anyway, Jade and Naomi, this has been building for a while. The whole Jade being laid out and who did what, and it was almost as big as who shot JR back in the 80s. Question
I like that.
for you all though is, and we'll start with you. How could a loss help Naomi?
This sets up, win or loss, I think this sets Naomi up to have the biggest summer or the biggest run of her career. Shameless plug, mtmvsports.com. You can actually see an article that I wrote that tells you how Naomi splitting up the big three can create the biggest run of her career and create the summer of the big three. As I stated before previously, talking about Bianca, there's a number of dominoes that need to hit. Bianca Belair needs to become the world champion. Regardless of what happens between Jade and Naomi, this rivalry is not over. Naomi has done the best promo work of her career, and outside of the night 1 and night 2 main event, this is the most talked about rivalry because of the promo work they've done and because of the hatred they've shown, especially when you consider kayfabe aside, these are really, really good friends. Like Jade sees Naomi as a mentor. I personally think what should happen is WWE, if you write this in, just go ahead and give me a job. I mean, an intern for y'all before. Just give me the work. Win or lose, Naomi goes on. This rivalry does not end. Naomi wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. This sets up a 3-way match between Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair. But here's the kicker. You bring in Last Legend and Jakara Jackson. They follow Naomi. They create a huge faction. Naomi is a heel champion with this heel faction. We get a culmination possibly at SummerSlam or Evolution where Naomi walks in as champion again in another 3-way match between the three of them. And possibly Jade comes out if they believe Jade is ready for the championship. Jade is not ready yet to be champion. She's still building up that character as great as she is, and she's still building up who she becomes. But no matter what happens here at WrestleMania, this is not over. Like, we're revisiting this. And the key piece to this is Naomi. Like, Naomi deserves this run with the work that she's done. To proceed with caution has been amazing. They've gone back and forth on social media talking about each other. This is the rivalry that we want to see. We need that heel faction. So go ahead and bring them two up. I saw Joe's face when I mentioned it, so I know it's going to cook. This is what we need. So imagine at SummerSlam, we get Jade versus Naomi versus Bianca, and then of course I believe Cardi B is hosting. There you have it. That's the summer of the big three right there. Make it happen.
So it's gonna be a hot girl summer for real.
Man,
okay.
Hot girl summer.
Hot girl summer.
Never thought we mentioned hot girl summer on the main card, but here we are.
Joe, I have the same question for you for Jade. How could a loss help her career?
Oh man, a loss help Jade, or you said loss help Jade or Naomi?
Jade. How would a loss help Jade's career?
It just builds that character. It would build her character up. Like, it's too obvious. Obviously, she's one of the strongest women that we've seen enter WWE. Like, if you can't physically see it, she shows it by when she lifted.
Stronger than China.
Man, she lifted Nia Jax, man. I don't know.
I don't think she's stronger than
Jax,
China, though.
lifting her up by herself, kind of like, it's like picking up Thor's hammer. Not to be mean, but it's just like she's a bitty woman picking up a very large woman. So it's just like, man, dude, she's doing things that most people haven't seen in a long time. But yeah, man, I think this is time for Naomi to build up those factions and bring in some of those NXT women coming into the WWE universe with Storm and being that heel to show like, hey, man, my time is now. You guys have been like overlooking me and overlooking all the work that I've placed and all of the bricks that I laid for the women that y'all just bringing in to take over. This makes her time is now. That's all I can say. Time is now. Jade has time to build herself up, get her character development, get the crowd to really, sink their teeth into her character and love her or hate her down the line. So seeing Naomi win this helps Jade. Seeing Jade win this doesn't really help her too much. And it can only just build for that big three fight in the future. Naomi, Jade, and Bianca.
All right. Well, we are rounding the bend, and with it being WrestleMania, with WrestleMania being too nice, there are just way too many bouts to cover in one episode. What I want to hear from both of you gentlemen, we'll start with you, Joe. What bout that will take place in either night of WrestleMania that you're really looking forward to? I want to know which one you're looking forward to that we have not discussed already and why.
Okay. This might come out of left field, man. That Dominic Mysterio and and Finn Balor and Penta and the last guy. What is it?
Braun Breaker. That fight is going to be epic. I think we're starting to see the fall of the Judgment Day. We're going to start seeing the rise of Dominic Mysterio become like the unspoken leader of the Judgment Day. We're going to see Finn Balor might get pushed out and new replacements coming in. So this is great. Penta's been making waves since he's been in WWE now. And Braun Breaker, man, everybody likes that dog energy, but I think the unspoken hero in this all is going to be Dominic Mysterio. Like, he will make for a great champion. He's already the most hated person in WWE next to New Day. And so, like, to have him become champion and then clip another faction teammate in the process, it just makes his villain arc so much better. So I think that fight is going to be really good to see.
Okay, and Joe, I'm gonna let you have this whole fight discussion because it's not a fight. It is a choreographed stunt show. It's not a fight. But
You would
again,
not say that to any of their faces, sir.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna let you have
it's
this.
a brawl. Brawl.
I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just saying it, and I said choreographed. It's not necessarily choreographed, but it is a scripted stunt show, and it's a beautiful thing.
It's basically UFC with the way they've looked over the past few months.
Yeah.
So let's get it right, boss.
Not scripted. Anyway,
let's get it right, and it's more entertaining.
Okay. I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna hold my peace, let the Lord fight my battles. But since we're doing that, Will, my my verbal sparring partner, which match are you looking forward to that we've not covered?
Since Joel stole my idea for the Intercontinental Championship match, which I do think is going to be amazing, I do think Dominic comes out on top of that. And I believe Aleister Black shows up, becomes a member of the Judgment Day, takes out Finn Balor. It's a nice little setup there. I'm looking forward to the Sin City Street fight between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. These are two former champions who were kind of the odd men out from both main events and the championship. And Drew McIntyre just does not miss. I think Drew McIntyre will probably have another title run at some point. He puts on a great bout every time he gets in there. And Damian Priest his run has been amazing. I've been a Damian Priest fan since before he was Damian Priest, but once he got to NXT and became Damian Priest, the matches that he put on in NXT, and then once he got up to the main roster and fought with the Judgment Day, he's been amazing also, and he puts on great matches. That's going to be about that I'm excited to see. There's so many good matches on there. You got, War Raiders versus the New Day for the tag team title match, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair is something we should look out for. I believe Becky Lynch is coming back. I think Becky Lynch is going to be returning, and it's going to be
the match that she'll do it too.
Yeah, I think this is going to happen there. And of course, I'm not really too high on AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I believe that spot could have went to the Street Profits being on the night 2 of WrestleMania. And then there's also, of course, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. But the Intercontinental match and the Sin City Street fight are the two others that we did not cover here that I believe are going to blow folks out of the water.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are the ones that are kind of under the radar that we haven't talked about. But there's a pre-WrestleMania show, if you want to call it that, in Stand and Deliver. It'll be starting in the afternoon, same location, with all of the NXT stars. Tell us a little bit about why Stand and Deliver matters.
Stand and Deliver matters because, me personally, it's been the most consistent brand over the past few years. Not only does it have some of the greatest stars that are upcoming, it has the greatest stories, and I personally believe they have the best women's division in all of professional wrestling. I don't care where you talk about it, all of professional wrestling. This is a deep card. You got the women's tag team championship #1 contenders match. That's Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade versus Metaphor versus Fatal Influence versus Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. The D'Angelo family versus Dark State. You saw this Tuesday. They just had that brawl outside. And Dark State, I feel, is they're building them up to be almost Shield-like to a certain extent, and they're going to play a major part, I believe, in the NXT Championship. You got the NXT Tag Team Champions, Fraxum, who've had a long run versus Hank and Tank, who, if you've ever been to an NXT show, you know that the fans get behind them. The NXT North American Championship is two former AEW champions and stars, Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page. That's going to be a show-stealing match That's also potentially a WrestleMania main event match in the future with the way that they work. The NXT Women's North American Championship ladder match. Zarya versus Kalani versus Kalani Jordan versus Izzy Dane versus Sol Ruka versus Lola Vice versus Thea Hall. These women put on amazing ladder matches every time they go out there. Look at Kalani Jordan to do some off the wall things. Her and Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka's finisher, if you've never seen it, please go on YouTube and look at it because it's out of this world. The NXT Women's Championship match. Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia versus Jada Parker versus Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace finally coming over from TNA, a former world champion over in TNA, versus Stephanie Vaquer and Julia, who have traveled the world and won championships there. And then Jada Parker, the homegrown woman from NXT who everybody loves, and they're waiting to see her win the big one. And then finally, that NXT Championship match. Trick Williams versus Javon Evans versus the Nigerian Giant, the true Nigerian king, the only Oba that we acknowledging out here from Nigeria is Obafemi. I hear my co-host in the background breathing hard because he got beef with me because I just said that. That's going to be a great match to see. I believe Dark State is going to play a major part in that because I personally think Trick Williams is the leader of Dark State. You can look at any number of these matches and you can see future WrestleMania stars in this. You can see future WrestleMania main event stars from Obafemi, the Trick Williams. Javon Evans is only 19 and he's already in the main event scene. Jordan, the entire women's championship match, they can all be WrestleMania women's main event match stars. From top to bottom, NXT brings you the brightest and the best, and Shawn Michaels has done an amazing job with all these people down here in Orlando, Florida, and I love it.
All right, Joe, we're going to allow you to close us out with the last question. Still dealing with NXT. Who on this NXT card, this stand and deliver, will stand and deliver in WrestleMania 42? Who will be up next?
I would say Trick Williams, man. I think it's his time. He's been in NXT. He's been like just completely showing nothing but dominance the entire time. His persona, likability with the crowd, the ability to garner an audience, promos, storylines. Shawn Michaels has really cooked this character up in NXT. So I can see Trick Williams. And besides, everybody loves his theme music, man. Whoop that trick. Come on, man. Imagine WrestleMania main event stage, world champion title, 60,000 people screaming, whoop that trick. In the audience, hustle and flow theme music coming out. Like Trick Williams is definitely going to be that guy. Like he said, like Will said before, the draft is coming up, and it's Trick Williams' time, and we already get Carmelo Hayes up in the WWE right now in SmackDown and Raw, and Trick was one of his best friends, so we could potentially see Trick coming up, and then they're having their massive rivalry right out on the WWE main event stage, and that will set up for future fights to come. But like Will said before, stand and deliver, man. Shawn Michaels has definitely kept making future stars. He knows how to pick them. He knows how to bring the best out of them, and he knows how to bring the most out of them when they're coming into WWE. So, man, yeah, Trick Williams is that guy. He's been that guy for a very long time now. I think that right now is just a setup for his future comings into the WWE.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for the main card this week, this special WrestleMania preview edition. No boxing, no MMA, just wrestling, pro wrestling. And we hope that you have enjoyed it. If you like those other things that we just talked about, come on back. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share to all your friends. We're on every platform known to man. So make sure that you're doing that. Check out the rest of the things that MTMV has to offer, from basketball with the full 94, of which I am probably the most important piece of. Just like with this show, you don't see me, but I'm there. And because I'm there, it's great. Full 94, Sports Talk with Z, the V Report, Pretty Girls Love Sports, The Throne Room, Time Out. We have you covered from head to tail when it comes to sports. And don't forget, Not the Same Podcast, because they cover everything, including competitive badminton. I joke, but if they see some of that, they might talk about it on the show. Anyway, we're here for you, giving you all the sports from your perspective, the fans' perspective. So make sure you're tuning in and lock in with us. I'll give the gentleman an opportunity to say something before we shut things down.
Joe, you are our guest. You'll have the final word, sir. Let us know what you're feeling.
Appreciate you guys having me on. Love the energy. There's great vibes here, man. Congratulations on having the show. And yeah, man, looking forward to WrestleMania being one of the best ones out right now. So yeah, shout out to WrestleMania being something that made me in my childhood feel joy and continue to does it into my adulthood. And yeah, man, I'm just excited.
Awesome. I want to say thank you to everyone. While we were on hiatus, my 3 years with MTMV Sports, with the main card, with Full 94, all came up. It's been an amazing 3 years so far. When Voice asked me to do the main card with him, I was like, brother, I don't know nothing about this, but it's made me a better journalist. It's made me a better podcaster. Voice, shout out to you, friend and a mentor. Man, blessings for another great year of combat sports banter with my mano a mano, my verbal sparring partner. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support constantly.
All right, fight fans, until next time, fight the good fight.
What's going on, family? It's your man Wildress.
And it's your man, the myth, the legend, the voice.
And you just finished watching the main card on the MTMV network.
Yeah, for more great shows just like this, smash the subscribe button.